Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Woonsocket, Rhode Island, Walnut Hill Bowl for the Ace Mitchell NEBA Non-Champs Tournament. Brian Gaskell here with you. Soon to be joined by Stephen Major. He's trying to hunt down a bracket. We are starting early today with the round of 32 since we were already set up. And the delay with the bracket is because we did have a tie for the last spot, so they couldn't print the bracket until the roll-off, which was between John Glabus and Zach Crowley at plus 91. They tied for the 32nd spot, and it was a one-game roll-off, which was the delay with us getting started today. And the roll-off was won by Zach Crowley, so John Glabus will win the ball raffle. And here's Steven.
Hi, Brian. Nice to be here.
Wait a minute. I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, you put the wrong one on, I think. Try that one.
There you go. Everyone can hear me now.
All right. You put on number 3. I didn't have the volume on number 3. There we go. So, yeah, we were all set up, so we started the round early today. There are 4 bowls in a pair, so we'll be here for a little bit. Thanks for tuning in. Share the feed. Steven has been drafted by me to talk about the pattern since he bowled and I didn't. So what did you see out there today, Steven?
So we were bowling on the 2018 Soren Youth Challenge Championships Open, 42 feet in length, about 7 to 1, 40 feet in length. Total volume was about 25 mils. I bowled last night and I bowled this afternoon. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it. A little salty about that, of course. But
that's part of the job. That's what we do. That's called the bitter crew, the bitter boohoo crew.
It's part of.
I'm usually on it, but I didn't get to be bitter today. I was bitter yesterday, but
you've won 3 times, so you don't have to be. You don't have to be out here.
Yeah, over 30 years. That's great.
You won last year, but
I said 3 times over 30 years. That's not lying.
Nope.
It's a fact.
Start out, you were definitely a little bit more up the lane. And then you had to be able to open your angles and then send it to about the 6 pin. You know, get your ball to see about 9, 10 at the break point. Allow yourself to get to the head pin. Maybe mix them up a little bit. But there was some out of bounds today. If you got it right early, especially on the first squad, it was a little out of bounds. And if you got it there early on the second squad, your ball hooked. There were definitely shots of mine today that, when I got it to the spot early, especially with bigger cores and quicker surfaces, that my ball would check up and I 4-pinned. I only missed it by 12, so if one of those 4 pins go, I would be not sitting here with you today. So, you know, kind of what I just said, Nate Clark on lane 20, you know, got that ball a little bit quick, kind of got the ball a little further right than he wanted, leaves the, what is that, Brian? I can't see.
2-4.
That leaves the 2-4. So, you know, obviously on the re-oil, things play a little tighter. So they weren't a gimme today.
Okay. So now that you mentioned Nate Clark, let's go over the matches on the feature pairs first, and then we'll go over the entire 32 bowls that made the cut. But right in front of you,
Nate converts his spare, so he's actually up by 1.
Okay. So on 17 and 18 to the left, you'll see Joshua Roca versus Zach Crowley, who won the roll-off, and Malik Grove versus Justin Urbano. And on 19 and 20, you just saw Chris Jolica throw a shot. He's bowling Tim Elsis, who's up on the right lane right now.
He made the finals last night, right?
He did. He finished second yesterday.
Good bowling them. Yeah.
So Chris was the number 1 seed. He led the field with 12:30. 12:30 score at 12:30 on the 12:30 squad. So, but unfortunately, he started out open, and he is behind by 30 pins already. And Elsis is on a double.
On 21 and 22, off to the right, you'll be able to see Sarah Gill.
Just off to the I don't know.
She's up right now?
Yeah, you can barely make it on the camera. The camera can really only cover 2 pairs pretty good. You might see the ball going down the lane. I don't know if they'll be able to see her. But let me go over the other match on 19 and 20. So you have Nate Clark against Peter Licata. And that is the 4 matches that you will see right in front of you. Let's go over the entire field that has made the top 32. We had 150 entries over the 2 days, which is pretty good for a non-champs event because obviously there were a lot of people that are not eligible to bowl.
There were a lot of things going on this weekend too. You had
State
Rhode Island
tournament,
States,
Rhode Island States, Mass States. Yeah, so good turnout. Good turnout. Not, I mean, obviously we want more, but it's
Can't
not
be
bad.
greedy.
Yep. So we did have 150 entries. The top 32 have made the cut. Last night, 6 p.m. squad, there were 28 entries, which the top 4 made the cut guaranteed. And the cut was 11-14. This morning at 9 a.m., I'm just going to give you the cut scores first, and then I'm going to go to the bracket and read all the matches. Sunday 9 a.m. squad, we had 66 entries, and that squad cut was 10.95. And then this afternoon at 12:30 on the burn squad, there was 56 entries, and that cut was 10.74. So it did start to drop off, as they hooked more. It wasn't like they just opened up and they got easy.
It wasn't so much that, you know what? They definitely hooked more in the front. There were a lot of situations where my ball would actually burn up and not make it, where I was crossing more of the lane in shots that I thought were good. My ball would true up in the first 10 feet. I've had a couple of conversations with Chris Foria in the last couple of days where, our eyes don't typically see the first about 10, 15 feet of the lane. And, I definitely made an effort today to try to see that, especially on panels that are a little older. My ball would true up earlier and actually hook less down lane, and give that perception that the lanes are actually tighter when they're not. And that allowed me to know to move right. Great shot from Andrew, by the way, to leave a vicious ringing temp in a lane 22.
Okay, so then that was the guaranteed squad cuts, and then we had 13 seniors, which guaranteed 2 seniors in, and that senior cut was 10.67. And Sarah Gill made the cut off the regular cut, so there were no extra women cut. There was 1 guaranteed spot, and she filled it. So
great bowling to her. She shot
bowled great
11.79
last night.
on Saturday night.
They weren't easy last night.
No.
So, and then the regular at-large cut, which was where we had our roll-off, was a tie at 10.91. And again, that was a full game roll-off, which is why we got a late start here. And I was already set up with the cameras and everything, so I figured we usually wait till around 16, but because I had time during the roll-off to get everything set up, we went right in. That roll-off was won by Zach Crowley, and he is in the field at 32. So let's run over the matches real quick. They're still in the 4th frame, guys. We'll give you some updates with scores and stuff.
Well, Tyler Levesque just dead flushed one on lane 21 to give him a 4-bagger. He is up against Tommy Cumlin on lane 21 and 22.
Okay, so we went over the 4 feature pairs. Let's go down to the first, all the way down to the left, which you cannot see on camera, but just going to give everybody a shout out that's made the cut. On 7 and 8, you have John Waite against Danny Koo, and Ryan Ladley against Sean Richard. On 9 and 10, you have Aaron Major against Ricky LaRouche and Kevin Tebow against Tim Gagney. On 11 and 12, Michael Martell against Justin Haggerty and Josh Schneidman against Rob Calabrese. 13 and 14, Scott Bourget against Colby Hagamosa and Jamie Silva Jr. against Brandon Vallone. Recently crowned college, I don't know that exact title, but I know he won.
I think it's titled NCAA National
I know he won the Nationals.
Great bowling to him, by the way.
I just don't know what
amazing.
exactly they call it, but I know he won.
That is amazing.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Hopefully we'll get him in our feature pair if he advances. Let's see. And then on 15 and 16, right? Kyle Wilkes against Leo Bastian, and Tristan Erickson against John Vendetti. On 17 and 18, which is the feature pairs. We went over them already. Okay, the 21 and 22, Sarah Gill against Andrew Robitaille, Tyler Levesque against Tommy Cumlin. And that is the field of 32. So let's concentrate on the feature pairs as of right now.
You know
Here's
what?
Justin Urbano going for a 5-bagger, and he's got it. So he has about a 40-pin lead on Malik Grove right now. And in the other match on that pair,
Nate Clark slapping out one
Let's
on
see.
lane 20.
looks like, I'm trying to see who the A-bowler is on that pair. It's a 15-pin match. I just don't know which guy's going to get up on. We'll have to wait until Malik throws his shot and see who goes next. Flip over to 19 and 20 real quick. Chris is still not found a strike, or has he got one? No, he hasn't found a strike yet. You know, this is sometimes it's a good problem to have when you make the cut, but when you make the cut on the burn and then you got to come back and bowl your match on the fresh when you didn't. I don't know if he didn't bowl in the fresh or if he had to re-enter. I wasn't here that early this morning, but sometimes, yeah, he whacked them at 12:30 when they were burnt up. But now here we are with 5 frames in. He hasn't thrown a strike yet, and he's on the ropes.
You know, I've had some conversations with some bowlers about that. You know, getting into match play and then playing a little differently because of the re-oil or whether or not you make it off the burn squad. But you know, I work for Alex and John, and you're able to have a little bit. You're able to have some conversations with them, and one of the things that they talk about is just not starting match play with the same ball that you bowled on. Big part of that's just coming in with a clean blueprint. Andrew just flushed again on lane 22, a very big strike against Sarah Gill. You know, but they just talk about it, seeing the round as just as a completely separate tournament. You go in with no prejudices, and you see the lanes for how they're playing.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, me personally, I always want to try and bowl the fresh, because ultimately, if you want to have a chance to win the tournament, you need to be able to bowl in the fresh, because match play starts over on fresh. You know, there are certain circumstances if the tournament's so far away and you don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes you just have to bowl on the second squad.
Yeah, you just make that decision when you wake up.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said,
Nate Clark,
if you
dead
really
flush,
want to win,
19,
you have to be able to conquer the fresh.
Gives himself a 3-bagger over Peter Lakeda, who just struck on lane 20.
All right, so let's go back to 17 and 18 real quick, because here's Malik. Justin Urbano now has the front 6. So Malik is going to need this one just to stay in the. He got it. The match with the A and C bowler is still a 15-pin match. Both guys are double, but I still haven't figured out which guy's got the lead yet, because let's see, Joshua's going on the left lane, right? So he's up by 15. So that Joshua Roca is up 15 over Zach Crowley through 6 frames.
Tyler up on lane 21. I wanted that to push it. Just kind of cut it a little early.
All right, so what's going on in that match? Tyler was on a 5-bagger.
He's up by about
He's up
15. Because unless he converts to spare,
Yeah.
Tommy's got an easy cleanup here.
Tim Elsis has double, 9-spare double, and that's out wide for 2-4.
You saw that a little bit as you crossed the building. There were definitely some pairs where when you got your ball in, your ball didn't really want to true up as true as when you got it to the track. If you got it to the track around the end of the pattern, the ball definitely trued up and went through the pins a little better. And when you missed it in, the ball actually sailed another 2 or 3 feet. And if you weren't fortunate to mix them up a little bit, you left something like a 7-pin, or if your ball got back to the pocket, you might have left a flat 10.
So since you mentioned that you work for John and Alex, I'm going to go over the sponsors for the year. Thank you for triggering me, because a lot of times I get so into the bowl and I forget.
I'll still chime in about the matches.
So Strike FX is part of the family that has donated upwards of $60,000 to NEBA for the whole season. This particular event that we bowl now, is sponsored by Ace Mitchell. We thank Vinny Grazan, of course. He sponsors also the golf event in the Keene weekend, which is coming up in the summertime. We have a golf event on Friday, and then bowling on Saturday and Sunday. But let's go over the whole list, starting with Callahan's Bowlerama. Many styles of bowling. LaRue Marlowe. East Coast Sports Investors, Jeff Dawson. Strike FX Pro Shops, as you mentioned. 6 locations.
I want to mention
every time I try and name them all, I miss one, so I'm not going to do it. I always forget one. I always forget Old Mountain or Somerset.
You know, just to mention something. You know, Peter maybe missed in maybe 1 or 2, and his ball didn't quite true up, and unfortunately leaves a 7-10 against Nate Clark, who just leaves the 10 pin to clean up. But that was some of the difficulties that bowlers had today when, they saw their ball flat 10, grab it a little bit, miss in. They get maximum penalty.
All right, back to the sponsors. Bullwinkle's Pro Shop, Rich Reynolds. Buddy's Pro Shop, our friend Chris Forey, adding money to both the Buddy's Pro Shop Open and the Paul Forey Memorial Tournament, which we'll get into at some point. Logo Infusion, Kenny Keegan. The champion shirts are donated by Logo Infusion. I had mine on yesterday. Ace Mitchell Bowling Supply, Vinny Grazan, this is his event, and he also sponsors the golf event, like I said, in Keene. Green Mountain Open, Rutland Bowlerama, Dexter Shoes, Paul Sylvia, Savage Arms, Al Casper, Turbo Grips, Chris Sand, Grog Monster Sports is a new sponsor this year.
Lane 20.
What was that?
Great shot by Tim Eslis on lane 20.
Okay, yeah, Tim's in good shape. Turbo Grips, Chris Sand, we did that. GMS Concrete, Clay Schwartz, known Clay for a long time. Callahan's Bowlerama, once again. Next page, sorry. Our good friend, who is maybe going to join us in the booth next round, Jeff Barden, Yankee Lanes.
Yep, I've asked him to join us in the booth, and he's accepted that.
Adding $1,000 to both the doubles and the singles in Keene for that weekend I spoke of in the end of July. Chicago Sam's, BowlingSeriously.com, Joanne Herman, adding $1,000 to the women's event and the Women's Cup Series. Tony and Suzanne Renard, Bloomfield Electric, GMS Concrete, the Masters event in Silver Lanes in August. TechVision, Bruce Hall, who's not with us today. He is back vacationing in North Carolina. He came yesterday to bowl, but he left me the ship today, so
hope he's listening in.
I'm sure he will be at some point. If it's not live, it's Memorex. He'll find a way to check up on me. But love you, Bruce. Chaos Strike Force, Brian Beaver, Jeff Barden, for his Yankee Lanes in Manchester event, is adding $1,500 to the senior event on Saturday. The women's event on Saturday, $1,500 also, and for the regular singles event on Sunday, $2,000 to the prize fund. So $5,000 total for the weekend from Jeff Barden in his second event in a new venue for us, Yankee Lanes in Manchester. DJ's Pro Shop, John Zawalik. Storm and Roto Grip, Leanne Helsenberg. They donate 45 balls for the season, which are given to a raffle, and if you make a reservation online, there's a drawing for one ball out of people make a reservation. Better Bowling Concepts, John Kirk and Keith Lang. And that covers it.
So we're beginning to wrap up some of the first round matches here. Lane 21, Andrew unfortunately just flagged a 10 pin, but if he If he's able to stay clean in the 10th frame, he will snap off Sarah Gill by about a pin. Her
Okay,
max
so yeah,
score,
he has to fill 20 to shut her out.
Yep. Her max score is 23.
223, and he can shoot 224.
He can shoot
just
234.
234, 224 if he just fills 20.
See what he does
That would
right
be
here.
enough.
See what he does right here. Might have been in a bit. That's one. Little excited, but he's new.
It's all right to get excited,
Absolutely.
within reason.
Sarah Gill up on her approach.
All right, she's
Wow.
gonna make him fill the. She's gonna make him fill the other 10. It looks like. And then what do we got going on?
They're a little
19 and
ahead.
20.
They're a little ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, well, they struck a lot. That's a good problem to have.
They clock on lane 20. Kicks out the 10.
He's got his match wrapped up.
Yep.
Pretty much. I mean, he's got to show up for the 9th and 10th. He's up by 50, 60 pins at least.
Tim Eslos has a 10 pin to clean up.
So, Chris Joliker just struck in the 8th. His max score is 204. Elsis is going at a 2-team clip. So, I mean, if he just...
Andrew leaves a 5 pin.
Andrew
so
needs to leave the 5 pin.
he just
make
needs
it.
to
Make it to win.
convert it. UBA, everybody would be raising their hands right now.
Elsis cleans up his 10 pin. So he's going at a 217 pace right now. If he just fills his frames, he is going to win. And
Andrew will win his match.
Andrew has won his match. Looking back over towards 17 and 18. The Urbano match is tightened up because...
Has it?
Yeah, Malik has thrown 4 in a row, and Justin has missed twice. So let's see, 1030. He's only up by 19 pins.
I hear there's some art to winning match play matches, especially in frames 7 through 10.
That is, yeah. There's been a lot of matches won and lost in the last couple of frames over the years. That's for sure. You're never safe. You know, you could lose a 40. You can lose a 40-pin lead real quick.
Pila Kid on lane 19, flat 10 again. We have Tommy Cumlin versus Tyler Levesque on 21 and 22.
Strike here will lock it up. No, wait a minute. Tommy's losing. I'm reading the scores backwards. He needs this one bad. It's pretty good.
Dead flush.
Yeah.
He gets it off his hand so clean.
He doubles. So Tyler needs this one. Tyler throws this one. He shuts him out.
Yes.
With reasonable count.
If he misses this one, Tommy needs the next one to shut him out.
Yep. So this, if you can see it to the right, you're not going to be able to see his approach. You might see the ball going down the lane. This is a lockout shot for Tyler here. And he's got it. So he just needs reasonable
shot,
count,
Tyler.
like 7-8 pins on his next ball. He's going to advance.
Urbano on lane 18 goes can opener strike.
Yeah. So he can still shoot 268. And Malik is maxed out at 259. So now no matter what Malik does here, Justin can still step up in the 10th frame and win his match. It's a strike for Elsa, so he is 96, 205. Yeah, he just needs 9 out in the 10th if Chris were to get all of them. So Elsa is sitting in good shape. Chris leaves an 8 pin, so unfortunately that's the number 1 seed is gonna go down in round 1. Somehow that happens a lot, but Tyler is taking his victory lap in the 11th. That match is over.
Brandon Malone up on lane 14. Dead flush.
Oh,
I think
Crowley
he's got
gets
it.
thrown out the window. That's going to cost him that match. He still had a chance if he'd struck out. So it looks like Joshua Roca is going to advance from 17-18. And the bottom match on that pair is going to come down to the 10th frame. Urbano has a 9-pin lead.
It looked like Ricky LaRoche struck on a shot.
You're braver than me trying to see 20 lanes to the left. I can't.
I have a few people running over there.
Oh, you have people score checking for you?
Yeah.
That's good.
You have to know how it goes.
Get somebody to fill out the bracket for us so we know who's bowling who next round.
We were just informed that Sean threw a double to win, so he'll be advancing through to the round of 16. He'll be facing Danny Koo. A couple of Brockton bowlers facing each other.
All right, I'm filling in my bracket here, so you keep getting results and I'll keep writing.
Tim Gagney is facing Mr. Kevin Tebow on lane 9 and 10. Sometimes you try to judge by their reactions, you know, whether or not the match is close. So Kevin's up on his approach right now. Light mixer.
All right, here's Urbano. He needs this first one to make sure that he can't be shut out.
Great bowler.
And
There you go.
He's got it. Okay, so
Great
he's
shot.
in the 250s now. If he were to get 9 spare, that would put 257. And Grove can still strike out for 259. So Justin is going to need another one to lock it up. Otherwise, he's going to need some help.
I think Tim will be advancing on his match. I could be wrong, but like we said, next round we're going to have Mr. Jeff Barden joining us.
All right, so that Roca advances 224 to 184. Here's Urbano for the lockout shot on lane 17.
It looks like Mr. Colby Hegemoser will be advancing to the round of 16 too.
Here goes Urbano. He likes it, I think.
Wanted it.
Flat 10. Was that a flat 10 or a ring 10?
That was a flat 10.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if the 6 went around or not. Okay.
You can always, sometimes you can look and see when that 5-pin just kind of lays flat on itself and kicks to the sidewall. Usually just means that that 10-pin standing. So.
All right, so assuming the spare for Urbano, that makes him 257. So Grove needs double and 9 to win.
All right, this is what it's about.
And he's got 5 in a row right now, so he's lined up.
Do you grab it when you need it?
You can't grab it when your thumb's not in it.
Wow, that's a little mean, Mr. Gaskell.
It is what it is. That's what makes them so good. I wish I could do it.
Well, you got the first one, so.
He did get the first one.
Mr. Tim will be advancing with a very impressive 230. So what does Millie need? He needs the first two? Got the first one.
That was one. He needs one more and 9. Elsis is in the 230s. That match is locked up. I'll write that down.
Looks like Tristan has been eliminated from this round.
You said Clark is going to win the other match on that pair, right? Need Clark?
Yes. Okay. He's already in the 220s. Max score for Peter is 180.
And he's got it. 9 to win for Grove. And that's going to be a tough loss for Arano, 250s, and there's not another 250 as far as you can see, I don't think. Probably the high two games in the building bowled each other.
See who won.
All right, here it is, folks. 9 to win. And then right after that, we'll be signing off. We'll get back for the round of 16.
Special guest Jeff Barton. 9 to win. Oh, wow. That could have been very unfortunate, but managed to
Throws
get
the
him
last 8 to win by 2. What a match. Wow. I almost had that match written off in the 5th frame. You can't do that. You can't make that mistake. But we do it all the time. Like all of a sudden I looked up and he went from, Justin had a 40, 50 pin lead and then all of a sudden he didn't. All right, folks, we're going to sign off and chase some scores down and fill out the rest of our brackets so we can tell you who's bowling in the next round, because those pairs way down to the left, we really can't tell who won some of those matches. We will see you in a few minutes. Thank you.